Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Yet another Thursday. Nice gathering of like minded people, right? I really enjoy the Thursday evenings. So, as usual, before we start our today's talk, few quick things about what is coming up. But before that, just a very quick one line introduction. My name is Anita, and I welcome everyone on behalf of Manhattan Meditation Center and Peace Village Learning and Retreat Center of Brahma Kumaris. Everyone who is joining us online and everyone who is in person at the center, thank you so much for making the time to be with us. So this month, we have a workshop coming up. It's on February 18th, which is coming Saturday. And the topic is reconnect to your own original purity and freedom. Timing of the workshop is 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. And registration link is up on our website. If you have any interest, please go ahead and register. We also are offering 2-day meditation course, The Invisible Word of Truth. The dates are on February 25th and 26th. Timings are 11 to 12:30 p.m. Again, registration link is up on our website. Please register if you have any interest. If you have done the course, wonderful. You want to do it again, that's always encouraged. Repetition always, the practice makes the man perfect. So you can practice the meditation skills. Every Thursday, anyway, we meet, you get the information in a timely manner, what is coming, what will be the topic of the coming Thursday. Besides that, we also do Power Boost meditation live every day at noon time from Monday to Friday. It's just for 15-20 minutes. Again, we encourage you to take benefit from it. We also have started a podcast service, and meditations and small talks are available on our podcast platform. You can hear them on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcast, and of course on our website. So that's all the goodies we have. I think they're good enough, right? Today's topic, the Benevolent One. In our talks from time to time, you must have heard that this time, particularly this time in the cycle on the earth, right now, there are two kinds of energies are in play. One is a descending energy and one is the ascending energy. And this is the only time when the ascending energy makes its presence. And that ascending energy is the energy of God. We talk about it and we mention it in our talks from time to time. Today's talk is all about attributes and qualities of God. And one thing which was coming to my mind, and it's so just connected with what's going on in today's in the time frame right now. We just celebrated Valentine's Day, right? And there was whole environment and everything gets created, and people just. But the thought which was coming is that so much importance is given to love. Love is so important. People seek love. People talk about love. People want to love. People, want to be loved and all. What is the secret behind it? One of the things which we say often is that you can seek something if you have experienced it, right? And whatever this love, what we are seeking, we are not seeking the selfish love, right? We all want love which is caring, compassionate, benevolent, selfless, right? So that means we have experienced it, not just as an individual, but as in humanity. And And who can be that person or that being who can give that kind of love? That all of us, we have a memory of it, whether we understand it or not, whether we can really accept that truth or not, but we have experience and we are seeking. And, the answer which was coming to my mind was that is the love from God. In today's time, a lot of times you hear poets saying, love is God. And sometimes they say God is love, right? So all these dots connect. And I'm just talking about one attribute of the benevolent. But it is so important for the whole humanity. The whole humanity is kind of wrapped into it, right? The love songs and movies and the whole saga goes on. So let's hear some more about attributes, and God is the goodness, seed of goodness for the humanity, right? And we all want that goodness again inserted, become part of our life. We are all tired and scared of the violence what we see all around us, and we want it to be shifted, change, right? And how it can happen and who can bring that change. Let's hear from Sister Ines. Sister Ines, very warm welcome on behalf of everyone. Good evening.
Good evening and Om Shanti. We have few here at the center, and then you on Zoom. So very warm welcome and very happy to be with you. For this evening, I thought we can start with the meditation. What do you think about that? Would that be okay? So let's sit straight back. And the aim for the next few moments is to just gently turn within as we want to connect, touch base with the core of my being. As in the ocean, the treasures are on the bottom of the ocean. So deep within my consciousness, almost buried by many different layers. There's the core of the being, the heart of the soul, the heart of my soul. And that is the place where we would like to go now. I let go of all the thoughts from the day. And as I turn inward, I might notice some feelings, some emotions, sensations, different thoughts coming and going. I give permission to all of those to come, to be, and to go. I become the observer of my own mind. And I gently focus on this inner point of stillness. Just behind the eyes, visualize a beautiful, sparkling light. And hold the focus on that light. And as I go or enter my inner sacred space, it is as if I step into a big room filled with sunlight. I sit down. The windows are open. I look through the window as I sit comfortably. And there's the ocean, a beautiful, vast ocean. I start to feel relaxed. I feel relaxed in my body. I feel already calm in my mind. I feel the breeze of the ocean on my face. I hear the sound of the waves, the water coming in and pulling back. I relax even more, and I feel very good, very calm, very quiet, as I follow the sound of those waves. And as my gaze falls on this vast, beautiful ocean, there's a whisper. I hear a whisper. I feel a very gentle presence. And that whisper says, I am the ocean of all virtues. And you belong to me. The original nature of you, the soul, is of divine virtues. You are complete, whole, self-sufficient, and full of goodness. That presence whispers, I honor you, and I have faith in your potential. When I awaken you to this truth of who you are, a true, deep inner joy emerges within my heart. It is a deep joy beyond the senses. You are made of peace, love, happiness, bliss, strength, and wisdom. You wear this, you are this, and you will it be eternally. The whisper fades away, leaving me with the beauty and the wonder of my own self. It felt so real. It feels real. I wonder how many times or for how long can I sustain this? And so gradually, my eyes falling back on the ocean in front of me. I come back to the awareness of the body. Aware about the current place I am in, where I sit. But my experience, my inner feeling is different compared to before this journey. Om Shanti. So, are you back? Did you visit the ocean? Did you hear the whisper? Did you connect with yourself? Yes? No? No?
Yes. Yes,
Yeah.
we did.
Yes.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yes.
Did it feel good? Did it sound good?
Yeah.
Oh, that is something. Yes. Tonight we have a very interesting topic. I think very important aspect in our life is to think more and to give more time and attention to what is really good and to the goodness within. We all, how many of you believe, you think that you are a good person? Yeah,
Try to be. Try to be.
yeah, we're trying to be. we all deep within, I think we all know that we are good. But it is not that place or that I'm always aware about that inner goodness, that I'm always connected to that space within from which I can draw from where there is that peace, that strength, that joy and happiness. Because it's very easy to get engrossed in our day, in what we do, what other people are doing, right? It's very easy to get distracted from my own self, from what I need to do, where I need to be. And a lot of energy gets invested in figuring out others, in observing others. And in our relationships, we actually mirror each other. So we do something good. It's easy to be good with someone who is good, right? But then if someone is in front of me, if I feel provoked, if I feel challenged, if I feel maybe even offended, how do I behave? How do I feel? What is it that I want to do? So our goodness easily merges. It moves in the background in the face of challenges, in the face of, when people not expressing their best. And there's also the saying, what goes around comes around. So whatever I give out is going to come back. So relationships are actually mirrors. We mirror each other when we meet, when we interact. And nowadays, there are a lot of challenges, right? Everyone has some or another problem, situation going on in their lives. We are surrounded by challenges in this country. There, in the whole world, there are a lot of challenges right now. And it is not that the goodness of the human soul is necessarily reflected at every corner or through every word or through every action. And so over time, we forget, we may even lose faith, trust in the self. We may lose courage to be our best, to do our best. Hopelessness can come in, right? So there are challenges within and there are challenges from the outside. And there is also this principle, it's a universal principle that when I engage my thinking, my thoughts in something positive, if I see what is good, if I speak what is healthy, what is beautiful, and my actions support that, then of course I will feel very good. I will have a good experience. We help others, we comfort, we have compassion, we express these qualities, we feel very good while we are doing it and also afterwards. But when we don't use our inner goodness, when we don't use our qualities, when we only engage what I see, what I hear, then I immediately connect with the challenge, with the problem, with what is not good, with the weaknesses of each other. Do you understand? If I am not aware of my own goodness, if I don't choose of how to be, what to be, then I immediately, the mind is like absorbing whatever is happening around me, and my eyes just keep looking and seeing. And nowadays, like I said, there are many challenges outside. So we don't necessarily see the good unless I choose to connect with something that is of value, that is of benefit. But to see the good when the negativity is expressed requires a lot of strength, right? It's not difficult, but you have to be powerful and you have to have a lot of willpower. Now, where to take it? And I think for me personally, that is one area where I can say that I have experienced a lot of benefit through meditation, but then also more specifically, so connecting to God, connecting to that being that is the embodiment of goodness, that is the seed of goodness, that never wavers, that is stable, consistent, vast in terms of his qualities, unlimited, unconditional in his love. The divine, the supreme soul, or God. And so many different names have been given to this being. Is absolute goodness, is the bestower. is the benefactor. And not only that, the Supreme Being, the Divine, is very closely related to the heart of the soul, to the core of the being. Related to the living energy that we are. And what connects me with God is my goodness. So very practical, actually. The connection with God helps me to connect, first to find, to connect, and then to emerge what is really good in the soul. That peace that we all want to experience, that pure love, that feeling of being completely accepted. Many, many qualities or experiences that we did not have when we grew up or in later on also in our relationships. But it's actually only when there is that pure, unconditional love, when someone feels truly cared for, loved for, that we are able to, like a flower, starts to open up, starts to bloom. You know, if you water the plant, if there is sunshine, if there is nourishment, then that flower, that plant will grow and bloom, unfold its own beauty and give happiness to everyone, right? And similar with the human soul, you know, we say human beings. The human part, the body, and the soul, the conscious being, the living energy is the being part. Human being. And so in the being, in the soul, in that living energy, there is peace. Peace, that's what I am. Love, that's what I am. And so if I can accept that, because the one connecting to me, the one I am connecting with, is seeing that beauty within, knows my potential, and is actually the embodiment of those qualities. Like a mother, the mother will always see the goodness of the child. The mother will always have hope and faith in the child. Even though child maybe goes on a path the mother did not anticipate for the child. But the mother will always stand up for the child and always be there and love the child. And so the Supreme Being, the Divine God, has that vision for all of us, is upholding that goodness that we are. And if I connect to that being, I actually have to be willing to connect to this beauty, the beauty of love, the beauty of peace, the beauty of joy. I have to be willing. I have to be wanting to feel it. It sounds very trivial, but I think it takes courage. Nowadays, our heart has become little small, little bit, there's little bit tension in our hearts, and it contracts very easily, the spiritual heart, yeah? And we need. Heart is not necessarily to just be open to share no matter what, but become very conditional. And at the same time, we are not understanding that the more I limit or the lesser extent I express or share my own goodness with others, to that extent, I'm actually eroding it within my own self. I'm neglecting it. I want to feel it from the outside because I don't feel it inside. And so what we learn on the spiritual journey is to become proactive and to emerge. Because I know about it, I can connect with it. I can think about it. I can be aware about the love, the peace, the respect, the patience, the kindness, the honesty. I can connect with it and then make the effort to express it through my actions. The way, well, most subtle, at the level of thoughts, how I think about myself, how I think about others, what I see, how I see through my eyes, the words I speak, how I speak, the tone I use, and then, of course, whatever I do. Ordinary actions, simple activities, I can be very peaceless while doing it, or I can be actually in my peace and doing it very peacefully, and I will enjoy it. But that belief that I always have to go somewhere or have something in order to be peaceful. And I think God, as the benevolent one, has a lot to do with helping us to see our own inner strength, our own inner qualities, and encourages us to use them. Many times, or very often, when we pray to God, we want something, right? We ask for something, we ask God to do something. But if I don't make the effort, if I want to drink water, right, I have to get the water, lift the glass and drink it. No one can drink it for me. And when I drink it, then I'm not thirsty anymore, right? So I experience the benefit. Same thing, I want to be loved. I want to feel loved. I want to feel acknowledged, appreciated, accepted. And we are waiting for others to give us that experience, to make me feel like that. And if they do, I feel very happy. And the next day when they don't do it, if I don't get it, I'm unhappy. So that habit, that tendency of taking. But no one here is perfect. Everyone is, in a way, everyone is struggling to be good. Everyone wants to be good, but anger comes, jealousy comes, peacelessness. And like I said, if someone is angry, is unhappy, how easy is it really to connect to the goodness within that person if I don't see it? It requires some practice, right? And if I don't have that practice, whatever madness is expressed, I will get affected by it. So long story, short sense. What becomes or has become very important for us, that we connect to a source, connect to the being that can never ever deceive us. And that helps me not to deceive even myself. And so to have that faith that this unlimited, unconditional being is there for me every moment, bestowing, giving, reaching out. But I need to open up. I need to be available. I need to be willing. I need to be interested to take, to receive. And so if I'm upset, if I'm angry, unhappy, distressed, in these moments, we are not able to feel the love. And many times also feel actually unworthy to go in front of God. For different, for different reasons, we have developed all sorts of beliefs. But actually, God is here to help me to overcome the darkness, in a way to help me to connect to the light, and makes it easy for me to let go of the darkness. If we would not be in trouble, why would God be here? And then that faith, that deep faith, that this unlimited energy, this unlimited being has deep interest in connecting with me individually. Whatever we expect from human beings, God can give us that experience in its purest form. And consequently, another difference compared to human beings, God will never make us dependent. God empowers. God makes us strong so that we can stand up for the self, that we can be who we truly are. And it's only when I really go deep within and choose, have the power to choose and be good, loving, caring, respectful to my own self, and not have to give in to, one of these demons that show up internally. They also can show up externally when someone else is under that influence, but they also show up within our own selves, right? And when we believe we get angry about or with someone, it's actually I'm getting angry, upset with my own self because, again, I did not stay true to me. And so the more we connect with that unlimited energy, that eternal energy of God, the embodiment of goodness, the Father of the soul, the Mother of the soul, of me, the living being, I am engaging in a relationship, in an exchange that is utmost beneficial, benevolent. God has deep interest in the well-being of everyone and has the power to strengthen our willpower so that I then have the strength, using my own willpower, to overcome challenges, overcome obstacles. You know, when there are any kind of challenges, situations, problems, calamities, either two extreme ways to react. Either I start to cry, I become helpless, I become the victim, or I pretend everything is okay. Or maybe not that everything is okay, I get angry. And feel very, in a way, very empowered and very strong in my anger, and start to rage over others and what others doing, what they have been doing, and what is not right, fighting for justice, but being very angry, very upset. But both ways are not very helpful. The more we understand certain principles in life and take the help of God to reconnect to what is always there within myself, and to act and interact in a non-violent way, will make us feel very, very empowered, will make us feel very good, very happy. Does that make sense to you? Can you relate to that? You know, there's so many different beliefs about who God is and what God does and what God doesn't do. But on the spiritual journey, as I learned about, the more subtle aspects of life, the more subtle dimensions of the self, connecting to my subtle energy of thoughts, feelings, intention. Gradually, then I was also able to connect upward and to connect to the most subtle being. The being that is the embodiment of pure love. And it's only when I connect to my own inner goodness, that is also when the mind becomes quiet. And in that moment, and even though it's only a short moment, in that moment, that's where the connection happens with the Supreme. I'm willing, I'm open, I'm ready to experience peace, love. I'm willing to receive, to hear what God has to say to me, instead of me constantly telling God what God has to do or complaining. And so on my journey, spiritual journey, I have discovered a God, a being that is really, really benevolent and deeply, deeply interested that your heart is happy, that your soul is happy, and has the power to give, to provide what we truly need. So I'll pause here for a moment and to check in if there are any comments, any thoughts, any questions. On Zoom or here in the center. What is going on in your mind? How do you feel? Okay. So,
How do you have faith that someone supporting you? And
there's a question here.
yeah.
Yeah.
How do you get that faith? Because I mean, sometimes even when you are doing good and you are trying to be positive, like you said, you don't have this strength. Sometimes you just feel, oh no, it's not working out. I'm feeling good.
How to have that faith that there is that source of goodness.
Yeah, and then everything will be all
right. Right. Faith here is a lot connected with spiritual study, to study, to learn. Like you're coming here, you're receiving new information, and then to experiment with it. Because it's not something that is very physical, very visible, right? So if I have an experience within, that will reaffirm to me that it's working, you know, whether it's the connection to the self, the connection to God. I have to experiment with it, and also in my own actions. And the experience, based on that experience, the faith will then emerge and will become stronger and stronger. There's no proof in spirituality, but you can experience yourself, you can understand yourself, you can experience yourself, you can understand God, and you can experience God. And that's where the faith then will grow. And then here at the physical level, you know, there's also this law of action and reaction. The law of karma. So if challenges come, there's a reason, but it's an opportunity for me to rise over a weakness, to live up to my potential, to connect to my goodness, strengthen a quality that I may not have used for a long time. Challenges are actually opportunities. When I experience something to be a problem or a challenge, it's mainly because there's a weakness inside. There's one or another quality not being used. And so the more I look at the challenge as an opportunity, my mind will go in an upward spiral, think positive, looking for a solution, looking to emerge something very positive from within. And in terms of connecting with the Supreme, we do have to practice meditation and practice quieten the mind. And in these moments when the mind is quiet, that's where the connection can happen. And when experience, where I can perceive God's energy, God's presence, I can feel, touch on that beautiful, empowering energy, that pure love. And so the practice of meditation to quieten the mind. And so the mind will only become quiet the more positive thoughts I have. So for example, if I I may not have faith in myself or believe that I am, at the core of my being, there is that goodness. But if you experiment with it, you will have experiences. And then consciously connecting to that deep inner sacred space, I can then draw from the ocean. Because this is really what connects God and the soul, is the goodness. And God has the power. One of the seniors one time said, there's a space within each one of us that no one can touch than God. And so to have the courage and experiment and learn to receive from the Supreme instead of always bringing in front of and having a busy mind and an upset heart. Do you understand? So through the practice of meditation, we are able to create these calm, quiet moments in the mind where soul becomes receptive for beauty, for that love, for that peace. Yes. The language of God is silence. Yeah, yeah. Or love. But it is, yeah. Don't hear God through our physical ears, right? But when we are quiet, we are able to perceive at a very subtle level and start to experience that energy. But something that, throughout the journey always puzzled and still puzzles me is the interest, the deep interest of God in each one of us. And there are these quiet, unexpected moments where God just shows up, gives you an experience, protects, loves. And so, who cares? Who values to an extent that God in form of the mother does? It is just that Supreme is very, very quiet. And we in our minds are very, very noisy and always have something to say, one comment after another comment. So we constantly keep projecting on God our own limitations, and that becomes a big barrier, of course. And if the time I am upset, why do I not feel God now? Or why do I not feel that love or that protection now? Now is not the way to confront or demand. It's a very human tendency. But we have to have some willingness to have a benevolent, to have a merciful, a compassionate vision for the self. And that will help me to connect, to even think that maybe I am a being of goodness. Maybe I really have already everything that I need. Maybe it's really within me. Maybe I really can do it. So it sounds trivial, but it is not easy for us anymore to be happy, be joyful, be peaceful, just because this is who I am. And so it takes a lot of courage to open the heart. And to open the heart and allow God's energy, God touch the soul. Because we have become so afraid from all the past human experiences. So, one more check in with everyone, how you are doing, and if there are any comments or questions before we do the closing meditation. So shall we just close then with the meditation?
Yes,
So
Sister Amos.
again, we'll bring our focus and attention back to the self. First the body. And give permission to the muscles to relax, sit comfortably. As I become ready to become more subtle, to go beyond just the physical awareness, my journey inward aims to get in touch with what is always there, that always exists, that is always available for me, and that is my own inner beauty, inner strength, the beauty of love, the beauty of peace, joy. I need courage. I have to have deep interest in who I truly am, deep interest in connecting with what is good within the self. The more I have the faith and I accept that I have the strength and whatever qualities needed to handle, to deal with what comes in front of me, the more I become empowered. I start to believe I have the courage to do something different, to see a challenge as an opportunity. But in my endeavor to emerge those beautiful qualities of the self and share them through the actions with others. In this endeavor, I keep going and reconnecting to the source, to draw from the source that pure and unconditional love, a love that empowers, a love that makes me strong, a love that heals. And again, I hear this whisper. I, the ocean of love, have come to meet you. My love is true. My love is imperishable, unconditional. Come and sit with me. I've come for you, to be with you. Merge in this ocean and allow yourself to be completely loved. Allow the heart to trust. The waves of this love have the power to heal the deep wounds of time. And my love will reveal what is real, true, and the highest within you. My love for you is eternal. It is always there. It never ends. And it is your right to be loved. Om Shanti.
Thank you, Sister Ines.